Hey guys, my name is Jasmine and today we're going to be making galaxies. So I'm going to tell you what you guys need to get started on this. You need a piece of paper, Sharpie, a drawing pencil, which is also a graphite pencil, an eraser, crayons, and colored pencils. So like I said, we're going to be making a galaxy, we're going to be making a space scene. So think about space, what pictures you've seen of it, what you might think it might look like if you haven't really seen any pictures of it or can't think of what space might look like. When I think of space, I think of a lot of purples and blues and blacks. So I'm going to grab those colors for myself. If you also don't really want to follow the colors that you might really think of when you think of space, you guys don't have to use those colors. You can use whatever colors you want. You can make like a real sunset kind of space scene with reds, pinks, purples, yellows. But I'm going to be pretty traditional and use blues, purples, blacks, maybe some pink. And when we are thinking about space and like what it feels like, what it looks like, think about its depth. It looks like it has a lot of depth to it. And depth means how deep something may look, how far away it may look. It looks like it has dimension. It doesn't look flat, like a piece of paper looks kind of flat. It might look like more like a box in comparison to a piece of paper. It looks like you can reach out and touch it. So we get started on our space scene here. It's still going to be kind of abstracted, but it's still going to have a real flow to it. And I'm actually going to grab a yellow too. Yellow and orange. Because in addition to our main colors here, also want to think about contrast. And contrast means how dark and light something might look, how different they may look. So black and white, that's a contrast right there. That's pretty plain and simple, but we're going to do it with colors in our contrast. And I'm going to take my drawing pencil here. I'm going to draw some stars. I'm going to draw stars of all different shapes and sizes. Different kind of shaped stars. Stars might have 4 points, 5 points. They may be the one where it's one big line, or I might draw it out so there are no lines in the middle. This versus this, this versus this. I'm just going to spread them out. The ones that are smaller, they're going to look like they're further away. And the ones that are bigger are going to look like they're closer. And that's how you get your contrast. You can also draw some planets maybe. Planets far away, planets very far away, planets that are closer. Maybe a galaxy. So, getting started on this with coloring. All your colors are going to kind of blend together, like how space kind of all blends together. It doesn't look like it's solid one thing and then solid another thing. They all really blend together. They all look very cohesive. So all of our colors are going to kind of run together and interact with one another. So your colors do not have to be perfect, because you can always color over it if you do it light enough. If you color lightly, starting out light enough. And then you can go back and color a little bit darker if it's how you like it. Coloring around my stars because I'm going to color them next. Excuse me. I'm going to color my stars next. They're going to be a bright color. They're going to be contrasted against my purple here and my other darker colors. gonna actually take my Sharpie and I'm gonna go over my planet shapes. I'm not gonna go over my stars. And I'm gonna erase the pencil line of my planets. Just so I know where my planets are. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can draw all of your shapes in Sharpie if you want. But I'm just gonna do my planets. And I'm going in with my yellow colored pencil here. I'm gonna go over some of my stars. I'm gonna make them really bright. Or you can just keep them white if you want. I'm gonna go with my red, or my orange here, excuse me. Gonna go over my other stars. There are all of my stars colored in. Gonna go in with my blue now. And just like with the purple, gonna go over everything. Gonna color over some of my purple. Blend it all together. But I'm gonna avoid my stars because if I color over my stars with a blue, the color and that contrast isn't going to be as noticeable. I'm making sure that I am filling up my entire paper here. I don't want any white spaces. I want my entire paper to be covered in color. And I'm not thinking too hard about where my blue is going to go, where my purple is going to go, because they're all going to interact once again and cover one another and be layered. And overall, this is pretty abstracted, so it's not like I'm looking at a picture of space and I'm like, I'm gonna draw this and color this exactly like that picture and exactly how it looks. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just thinking about color and how colors interact and what they can do and how they can blend. I'm going to go in with my pink here. I'm going to color this planet pink. I'm going to get it as bold and saturated as I can get it. I'm not coloring too lightly so I can get a contrast with the rest of my piece here. I grab a brighter color than the colors that I have been using to do my other planets. Some orange. And make this planet in multiple colors. Again, so I can get a contrast between this planet and what's surrounding it. It looks a lot different than what's around it. These are also warmer colors versus more cooler colors. And then for my last planet, who's all the way in the back, who looks like it is far away. Let's see. We're gonna color it green. There we go. And then for the rest of my piece, I'm gonna use the color black. And when you're using black, you kind of gotta be careful, because if you color too dark with it, everything kind of gets a little bit swept away, because it has to compete with it. But if you press down kind of lightly, you can kind of control what happens and how black works with everything else that it comes in contact with. And using black and following some of your shapes, you can kind of push it away and make it look like it has more depth to it, which is what I'm doing with my little galaxy right here. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other galaxy up there. You could also use your Sharpie to do the same kind of thing. You see with my planets here, they look more, they look a little bit different than everything else around them. It adds more depth to it, more contrast versus everything else. And there is our galaxy space scene. So, once again, this is our galaxy space scene. We talked about depth and contrast. Depth means how far away something is, how much dimension and realness it looks like it has to it. Like with our little planet way back there, it looks like it's further away, versus this one, which is more further up and looks closer. We also talked about contrast, which is how different something might look, so like black and white. So our planet here looks contrasted against our more cool colored galaxy space scene in the background. That is contrast. And you guys can make more of these. You guys can use different colors. You guys can use the same colors I use, your own colors, whatever you want. And I hope you guys do just that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.